The great British tradition of music hall has borne out many great characters. The song and dance man, the comic, the female impersonator, the magician, the impressionist. My guest today is all of those rolled into one. Well, perhaps not a female impersonator, but for over 35 years this Norfolk lad has been entertaining us throughout the county. And like many of those great artists of the past, this cheeky chappie doesn't use his real name either. He is, of course, Mr. Ollie Day.
Come fly with me, come fly, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, come fly, let's fly away. Come fly with me, we'll float down to Peru. In Llama Land there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come on and fly with me, you'll float down in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is so rarefied.
Well, I was very young at the time. I was born at 432 Sprowston Road. I was born at my nanny's house because my mum didn't have any hot water. That's what they always said. I don't know. And the winter of 1963, which was very bad. And I was born at home, as it were. And I grew up there and also sort of just off the Dereham Road and spent most of my childhood in that area, really, off the Dereham Road, and then visiting my nanny and granddad that lived on Sprowston Road. I went to Nelson Street Infants, and then to Wensum View, and then off to Earlham High School when I went there. Yeah, that wasn't on a hill, but that's been pulled down now, so has Nelson Street. Yeah. And I've been back since with the road safety show, so it's quite nice. There's a whole circle of things. Yeah.
Was it at school that you developed your love of magic?
Yes. My best friend David Rudd, his father, dear Lenny Rudd, was a real magician. Norwich through and through, ever so well known on the East Coast for entertaining, and that was a great thing for me because my mate's dad was a magician, and I loved watching David Nixon on the television and Tommy Cooper, and I got a great passion for magic. Some children like different things, you know, model kits and playing guitars or the piano. I just loved tricks, magic. Oh God, more magic. And I used to save my pocket money up and buy magic sets, and yeah, that was my thing.
Where did you go in Norwich to buy magic?
Well, I used to send away for it. Ellersden's magic shop, magic jokes and tricks, Ellersden's, and I used to love it when this little brown envelope came popping through the door, and you'd open it up and you'd get, you know, sort of stink powder and little magic tricks, card tricks, and how to be a ventriloquist. You'd get a little booklet with a little cardboard cutout ventriloquist head. Yeah, stupid things like that, but the excitement of it turning up, because there was no internet then, and I mean there was no shops in Norwich. I mean, subsequently I ended up working in a magic shop for Neville Downing at Magic Products down Prince of Wales Road, the biggest magic shop and joke shop in the country, and I was the manager there, and met Tommy Cooper. So I mean, things all come round in a circle. That's a wonderful thing.
Mixed in with the magic was obviously the comedy as well. So as you were developing your magic comedy act, did the comedy start at school to impress people or to stop being picked on? What was the reason?
Yeah, really. I wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer at school, but I used to love putting on little shows and entertaining my friends and doing silly jokes and magic with the teachers. And I suppose they saw that in me, and they did encourage it, especially at Earlham School. That was a wonderful thing. I got the Head of Lower Schools prize, and that was a magic book from Mr. Tingley. And also Rita Stevens, Miss Stevens, one of the teachers there, she saw that was something that I was interested in, and I weren't, you know, very academic. The best thing I came out of school with was motor vehicle studies, and I know nothing about a car, but she saw that it was a great way of encouraging me, I think, and I was forever grateful to her for that.
So at the age of 14, you were going to parties and doing your magic?
Yeah, people used to say, oh, come on, Ollie, come round and bring your little box of tricks. And I had a little case, and I used to take that and set a little table up with a nice scarf on it and do all these magic tricks, some of them that I bought off Lenny as soon as I was old enough to do a paper round. Lenny said to me, all right, I'll sell you some professional magic. If you save up £20, and I got this £20 together, and I went round to his house, and he had tables covered in all these wonderful props, stuff that I'd seen him doing at the holiday camps when I'd been to help him and been down there to watch him. Lots and lots of it. And he said, well, which ones can you get on with, Ollie? And I said, well, I like them all. He said, go on then, have the lot. I'll even give you the cases. And he got 2 giant suitcases out, and he put all these props in. He said, you can do a show with those. And there was enough there to do an hour's magic show. And I was made up. It was fantastic, it was.
Is there one particular magic trick that you remember?
Yeah, I still do it with my children's shows, and that's the 3 ropes. A small rope, a middle rope, and a big rope. I do it at my children's shows. It's now a big part of the road safety magic show because of stop, look and listen with the 3 ropes. We do all 3 things together and we'll cross the road safely. And also with my close-up magic at weddings, it's a great one to do for bride and bridegroom. They're about to get married. That's where it all comes together. And so it's a trick that has been with me for 35 years and earned me a bob or 2 over the years. And people are still amazed by it, yeah. I left school at 16 and I always wanted to be a sign writer, and we walked around all these sign writing places. I wanted to be an apprentice. They took on apprentices then, And my mother came with me and we walked all the way around Norwich, round about 14 or 15 sign writers. They used to do it all by hand then. Everything's printed out on computers and vinyl lettering now. And so I had a big thing about that, and presentation and posters. And even now, when I put a show on, I spend ages on doing the posters and the publicity, because that's something that I've always been really keen on. But I didn't get that particular job. But I went round in Northumberland Street. There was Horn's Menswear. They provided uniforms for British Airways and people like that, and used to be an old shoe factory. I went for an interview there. I got the job, was offered the job there. I also was offered a job at Trevor Page in Norwich as a carpet fitter, and I took that on. Work was everywhere then. 3 different places offered me jobs, and I spent a year working as a trainee carpet fitter for Trevor Page, and that was great fun. Met a lot of very interesting people, had lots of laugh. It was a great start to my working life, really, yeah, and a good discipline too. Well, at that time I used to do lots and lots of talent shows, and they were all over the place. They'd be in Earlham Park, Wensum Park, and I used to do all right at them, and I was in a double act with a young lad called Robert, so it was Ollie, Bango and Robbie. That was what we went under the name as, and they were great fun. Norwich City Council used to put them on May days and bank holidays, and we did all right at them. Some of them we won, and then the following year they'd ask us back when I was 15, 16. And then we went on to Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft. There was a long talent show that ran there at Fanny's nightclub underneath the tower at Great Yarmouth, and I did that and won that. Went through semi-finals and won the final, and that was a big thrill to me, yeah.
And was that doing the magic and comedy?
Yeah, comedy and magic. That was mainly meant to be proper magic, but that always used to go wrong, and so I used to sort of lean on that more and more and make it go wrong, or put a few gags in, silly jokes that even then a young lad of 15 shouldn't have been telling, not smutty, but a little bit saucy and near the mark. I didn't even know what half of them meant, but people all laughed, so I used to do them.
And was it at this time that you decided that your stage name had to change, or had you decided earlier that your stage name?
No, well, I was always known as Ollie because my surname is Alderton, so as a kid everyone called me Ollie. And then when I wanted to join Equity in 1981, I thought, well, it had to be Ollie something. So Johnny Cleveland, that I was working with at the time and great friends with, and he was a great mentor of mine and used to come up with good gags and, you should do this in your act, and used to go and do lots of shows together along with Lenny and all the other entertainers, Peachy Mead and David Valentine and Giovanni, all these sorts of people. And he said, why don't call it Ollie Day? Let's go the whole hog and go mad. So people will remember it. And of course they have. Has stood me in good stead over the years, yeah.
I've got you under my skin. I have got you so deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in, and I've said to myself, this affair, it never will go so well. So why should I try and resist when maybe I know so well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of that warning voice that comes in the night and repeats how it yells in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, you never can win.
My love of music and singing came much later, really. I was doing my comedy act and never any songs or anything like that, right the way through, really, until I was on Radio Norfolk. And David Clayton and Neil Walker, I used to go on there as a guest on the Friday programme talking about videos, because I used to work for Johnny Cleveland at his video shop. And they asked him if he'd go on there, and he said, no, you want Ollie boy, he's a real film buff. And I've always had a love of the cinema, and so that was how I started off on Radio Norfolk as a guest. And then it went from there to doing my own programmes and helping out on Sundays, doing the Ollygrams, which were a thing where me and Freddie Russell, an ageing music hall and variety would turn up. He played the accordion, and so between us we'd sing "Here We Are Again" and surprise people on their birthdays. People would write into Radio Norfolk saying, "My Auntie Alice, she's 80 this Sunday. Can you go round there with Ollie and Freddie and send them an Ollygram?" And live on the radio, we used to turn up twice on a Sunday and visit these people with funny stories about what they'd done, and sing them their favourite song and mention some stupid things and from their past and silly jokes. Oh, we used to have some laughs with that. Great fun, they were such fun. Happy days, happy days.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat?
So what does Ollie Day like to do when he's got a night off and he gets a chance to relax away from the business?
Well, yeah, so many people in our industry are working all nights like me, and so it's wonderful to just get some time off. And this might sound strange to the people of Norwich, but I love going down to Anglia Square and going to sit in the Hollywood and watch a film at the pictures. You know, going out to the cinema in Norwich is a great thrill to me.
And I know that you've been an avid collector of signed movie posters and artists' pictures. You got some favourites?
Yes, I've been very lucky over the years. I used to get lots of fantastic books. When I was a kid, we didn't have many books in our house. I had a Film Fun annual and a few of those that my mother had got when she was a little girl. And I used to love looking through these, all these old film stars, Kirk Douglas and Robert Mitchum, Bob Hope, all these people. And over the years, I've sent pictures off to them and said, you know, I've got a little cinema in my house and I collect memorabilia, and would you sign this? And over the last sort of 30 years, I've amassed quite a nice collection of those. I've been very, very lucky, and I love having them up and seeing them. That's lovely.
So we know that there were at one time over 30 different picture houses in Norwich, and the Hippodrome was one that a lot of people talk about. You've got some very interesting memorabilia from the Hippodrome.
Yes, I have. I was really been a big fan of Laurel and Hardy. I mean, they, as a kid, they used to be on the television all the time. You never see them on the television now, but that used to be a great treat to watch them in those little 10-minute shorts, two-reelers they used to be called. And they appeared at the Hippodrome in Norwich. I think they came here more than once in the 1950s on their tour of Great Britain. And I'm lucky enough to have the original show bill from there that used to hang up in the old fish and chip shops and places to advertise the week's run, and also a photograph of them on stage and their autographs that was got backstage by a friend of mine when he was a lad. He said, is there any chance of getting an autograph? And he went and met them and they signed that for him. It's fantastic. Great building, the Hippodrome. Beautiful to look at. And I mean, they are palaces of wonders, aren't they, the theatres? The same thing, that was a big thrill for me when Peter Wilson first took over the Theatre Royal to take part in the pantomime there with Victor Spinetti and Christopher Biggins and Peter Simon. We had a ball. As a wonderful thing, you see. An auditorium, whether it's a cinema or a theatre, is a magical place when the lights dim down and people sit in the dark and they all become one body, one, you know, it's a mass. And when you're on the stage and you make people laugh and you get that rolling towards you, that's a magical thing, whether it's a cinema or you're actually feeling it live in a theatre.
Right, so I'm just back from a cruise. Yes, there's Mr. Bailey, what a lovely man. I've said it before, I shall say it again. What a nice man. No, the tributes have been flowing and there'll be none of that rubbish from me. Now, I'm going to be honest. He's the sort of bloke, if you lent him £5,000 and you didn't see him for 3 years, that'd be worth it. No, he's a lovely fellow. We love the bits. And he put on a nice do last night. Lovely spread, nice buff. So I've been on the cruise. I've been to the Norwegian fjords. The weather was gorgeous, lovely it was. But I was on the Saga Rose. Mark, they're old on there, aren't they? Old, go to hell. And I was the only person on there with my own hips. That is what it was like, honestly. Even the portholes were bifocal. And when that was anyone's birthday, they went, hip hip, replacement. He nearly rushed on then, as soon as he heard that. Oh, it's me again. No, it's not. And you don't get a chocolate on your pillow, you get a prune. No. That is true. That was lovely though. It's nice being on a cruise ship. I loved it. I thought it was great. And we hit a force 10 on the way back. This is true. A force 10 because the fjords they're flat as pancakes. Lovely. No, it's not. Have it been posh people? And you look as if you've got plenty of money. You don't spend it on clothes. And well, it's a lovely when you go up the fjords. It's nice, and we came back, there's a force 10, and I thought, well, if the ship go down, there's enough walking sticks on it to build it up.
So you enjoy collecting memorabilia then?
I do, and so we've sort of shoved it in this room, and it's great fun to have it all on display. It's interesting. Yeah. But this is an old magic lantern, and they used to go round village halls in the early 1900s before electricity, and there's a gas lamp in the back, and then that would show onto the screen at the back of the hall while people were singing hymns, and they'd show religious pictures on these. But these glass slides are great because they came from the old Norwich cinema next to the Theatre Royal in Norwich in the Assembly House, and they used to put these up on the screen. They're all hand painted, so there's Charlie Chaplin here, Modern Times, there's Closed Next Week for redecoration, and this one's a bit smutty. I think they had a members only do. Yes, what does that say?
Fantasy and eroticism in the cinema.
Oh, missus. Yeah, yes. But that was a great place to go to the pictures. That was where I went as a lad to the Norwich cinema, and the screen was so high up you always came out with a stiff neck because the doors, you walked in underneath the screen, so you can imagine how high the screen was, all sitting like this. Yeah.
And I noticed behind you you've got a nice collection of some of the old theatres and cinemas that were in Norwich.
Yes, and there were so many. 32 picture palaces in the 1930s in Norwich. That's amazing. When I was a kid, I used to go to the Gaumont on All Saints Green opposite Bonds, well, John Lewis's now, and take my brother there and get on the old 81 bus and go there, and Saturday morning pictures down at the ABC cinema on Prince of Wales Road. Double-decker bus all the way down with all the trees banging against the glass, and when we'd get out, £1.50 for me and my brother, we'd have a hot dog, we'd get in, you know, that was the usual. That was fantastic, magical experience, Saturday morning pictures. Round here, I'm known in a very small way, and that's wonderful. But no, I've never wanted to be famous. I really, genuinely haven't ever wanted to be famous. I've just wanted to work round here in Norfolk and Norwich and be doing shows for these people here who are my people really, or I'm part of the community of Norwich and Norfolk, and that suits me down to the ground. Never wanted to be famous. I've never wanted the pressure. I'm a very nervous person, and I do suffer with my nerves, always have done. And I think that's why I got into the entertainment business, really, to get over it, to push myself over it. Even now, you know, I'm ill on the day for a big show. I worry about it. I'm nervous doing this. I really, it's funny, isn't it, how you are. And that bloke up on the stage, that Ollie Day bloke, he, you know, it's a great, I work hard at walking out on stage and trying to look as cool as a cucumber. I really work hard at that. And people say to me, I can't believe you're nervous. But I am, you know, it's a funny thing, that's just how it is. So it's good, you know, to try and push myself all the time. Working in village halls, I have had some screams in the village halls. If we could do one a week, that would be a great joy to me. There's nothing like it, to turn up at a village hall in Norfolk, people come out to see you. Oh, we got Ollie and Nigel, we got so-and-so, we got, you know, all these Muck Carter coming, we got all these wonderful entertainers turning up to entertain us, and they turn out, and you're part of the community for a night. And that's a great pleasure to me. You know, that honestly, that really is. I love it. And we did a show at a village hall one Christmas, and I won the raffle. Of course, we always spend a £5 on a few raffle tickets, and I won the raffle. And I said, where is it then? They said, you won a chicken. That's a frozen chicken. And I said, oh, well, that'll be nice. I'll take it now. Well, no, that ain't frozen yet. I'm still running around my back garden. You'll have to come back for it Christmas Eve. We did have some laughs, I tell you.
Though the days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness there used to be. Soon my eyes will close, soon I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms, still I'll feel the thrill of your charms, lips that once were mine, tender eyes that shine, they will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams. They will light my lonely way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams. For you, really. Thank you. Thanks ever so much from me, Ollie Day. Enjoy the rest of the evening. You've been lovely. Bless your heart. Ta-ra.